Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about gait scripting and animations. So here I have a newly made gait horse that I just started a couple days ago and I've been working on. Um and basically this is pretty much done, so I'm going to release this today. What I wanted to show you guys was um how you'd be able to put this model together if you choose to use it, and how you can apply it to other horse models. Because not everybody wants the horse to look like this. This would be like I would release it like this because I am making a draft horse rescue. So all the horses are going to be drafts. So I would want the draft type model. So the first thing to understand is, even if you wanted to use a horse exactly as it is, and you just really just wanted the speed changes and literally nothing else, like you didn't even want to animate it, um, you will need to move. I'm going to have this control thing in the actual model, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move it to server storage, because basically what this model script does is it accesses the server storage in your game, and then it uses that as like basically where it expects the controls to be. So if they're not in there, the script is probably gonna uh, throw a bunch of errors and not work. And your player won't have the buttons to control the horse. So let me just play this and show you guys what it actually looks like, so you guys can kind of understand what's going on here. So I just kind of want to show you guys. So the standard horse model literally does nothing other than like you can literally just control the horse like by standard. You could animate this. I just didn't because I was too lazy to animate this one. Um, then on the actual model that I have right here that I have modified, you can see it actually has an R15 riding animation. So this works on the newer player models, and you can sit in the saddle like that. And it has like a nice walk animation, a nice trot. You can actually back on this model, and it has like a different animation for backing. And there's also buttons for rear and buck, because as we know, in the original horse model, the rear happens when you try to back up, and it doesn't like back the model up when you try to go backward. And I never really like that feature. I like having a horse that's more even in real life, I like having a horse that can back up because it makes them so much more versatile. It's a lot safer for the horse if they know how to back up. Um, so I don't like it when the horse just rears when you try to back up, and also it creates a lot of um like neighing, because it plays like a neighing sound when you try to back up, but it doesn't do that. So it's not gonna get very loud except for the hoof sounds, which I kind of like the hoof sounds. Hoof sounds are nice, and they have like the canter. You have both leads, because I always include both leads. Some people only include the one, or they just do like collected and extended. But I actually like having both. And then you can do gallop as well. That one comes with the model, so that one's included. So this is like the standard one that you get. And I also added buck, which is essentially just jump, but you don't actually go in the air. It's just the horse just like, throwing a temper tantrum. Um, Oh yeah, and then the other thing is too is that if you try to jump with this model, it actually has like a half seat animation that plays for the player. If you can kind of look at that, so the player will kind of move with the horse on that motion. So cool stuff. It automatically plays, so you don't have to worry about like clicking a button or anything when you're about to go over a jump. And some pretty cool features that I just added to this model. Say I had just dropped this into into the game from the toolbox, and I wanted to apply to this horse here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this horse's riding script and copy it into this horse. Then I'm going to delete the old one, because we won't need that one anymore. You'll need one. And then you would also want to delete the animation saves, because those are just old animations that you won't need. You're going to want to take the animation saves from the new horse and put those in there. So then once you have that, not everything is totally done for you, sadly. You do have to do a little bit of animating work here. For me, it would basically, I would expect it to work the same way as the other one, just because all my animations are already loaded. So yeah, see, if I get on this horse, the animations are going to look the same. So on my end, it looks essentially the same if I copy it into another model. But if you didn't have all these animations like saved, then you would need to save them. So basically how you do that, you want to go to avatar. It's in like a new spot now. They changed where the animation editor is and it's messing me up so bad. It used to be in plugins. And you would click on a horse and basically it will load all of the saves that are down here that we just copied in this thing. This essentially corresponds to what's in here. So if we wanted to say load the jump animation, so we wanted to just make this so the horse could jump, we would select jump, we make sure everything's working, and it looks like a normal horse jump, so I think we're on the right track here. Then we would hit publish to Roblox, jump, and you'd put this is the horse jumping animation. Of course, you don't have to put a description. I just put that just because I'm used to when you do a model, you're like required to add a description to like help prevent against like exploitation of the model saving thing. And the only creator here is me. But if you own a group and the game is a group game, there would be like a group down here. Like there would be like a list of groups of all the groups that you are a creator of, or like you're allowed to like edit. And if it's the if I don't know how to explain this, but if the game you're working on is a game from one of those groups, you're going to want to select that group. But as for this is just one of my personal games that's saved on my account, so I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just submit, but I won't hit submit. Normally if you hit submit, like it gives you like actually, you know what? I'm just going to name this something different so I can't hit submit. There we go. Tutorial. And if I hit submit, you can see that there's a little ID that pops up here. So what you want to do is you want to copy that ID by clicking the little copy button. Or it actually also shows the same exact ID on this thing right here. So you could technically go here and then just copy it from this link here if you wanted to. Then once you have it copied, you close this, go to the corresponding animation in the script, and just paste the ID here. And once it's pasted in, then the animation should work. And you just have to repeat that for all the animations. But you might be thinking, what about the ride animation? If you try to load the ride animation, which I'm not sure is saved on here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it looks very weird because basically animations go by like the names of parts. And horses, like the horse has like some of the same names as like a person, like the torso is the same, and like the left arm and left leg and stuff like that are the same. So you're gonna see a lot of funky stuff going on over here. So you're probably like, what is this? Like this doesn't make any sense. Well, it's actually not gonna work on this rig. You're actually gonna want to build a rig. So you hit rig builder. R15 is probably the type you're gonna want to do, or if your game runs on R6, you want to hit R6. But if it's R15, which is the one with elbows and knees, then you want to hit that. And I would go to block avatar because nobody likes Rthrow. If you like Rthrow, sorry, you're wrong. Animation editor. Click this, and it's gonna make you make an untitled animation. Just call it ride. Now, basically, what you would do here, if you wanted to load one that the horse already has, you just copy animation saves and then just. I would just put them in here. See if that works. I think that's how you do it. I think that's how you usually do these things. So you would want to load the ride animation, which it's not going to show up on here because this is an R15 model, and like the one that's saved to the horse is R6, which I'll have to fix. But yeah, it's basically that. Or if let me just import the one that I already have that actually works. You would just take it, load it on here, and it would show up here. I'm actually gonna fix that before we get any further. I'm gonna save this as the ride animation. Yeah, I do want to override that. So basically, now that this is saved in here, I can copy this and then put it in this horse and the other one because I don't want it to have the old one. I want you guys to be able to use the one that I made. So saving it isn't enough. You actually have to go in and publish it. Then once you have it published, then you can do that same thing where you copy the ID and then put it into the script on the horse. Because um, the thing with animations is on the horse models, you don't necessarily have to have any of these animation saves in here to work. This is just so that you can load it on the animation, on the actual animation editor. So this is for this, and then all of these are what actually works when you're playing the game. So I could actually delete all of these and the horse would still work because it still has all of these that are saved to my account. But if I want other people to be able to view these animations in the animation editor, or I want to view these myself in the animation editor, I need to have this in here. Well, all you would have to do if you potentially got one of these models is make a rig. Step one, make a rig, and then you would have to copy this into the rig. Open the editor, edit on the rig, and then load all the animations that you need and save them, and then copy the IDs just as shown before. So not super complicated, or if you wanted to, you can make your own animations and then just load those in, and I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second. So, suppose I didn't like the animations that I myself made. Suppose they're ugly. You're like, dude, this is awful. Or if you wanted to just put it in another model, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do the extra animation efforts because the animations will only work on this horse model. It probably won't work on anything else, so that's kind of sad. So what you want to do, create new, and let's say we wanted to add like a passage animation or something like that. I probably will use this sometime in the future. Then you would just try to match up the keyframes. You know, this is probably going to be really ugly. This is going to be like the ugliest passage ever because I am not like doing a crazy amount of effort here. Engage those hindquarters, you know what I mean? Passage is one of the easiest animations to make. If you want to make an animation for the first time, do trot or passage because trot and passage are symmetrical gaits, so they kind of look the same on both sides. Or they're not really symmetrical, they're like opposite. I don't know how to explain it, but they're like way easier to make than other animations. And then you would go and basically these are like stages. So what I usually do is I look up like trot phases on like Google Images and then just kind of copy what I see on the horse for each keyframe. Because one of these little strips of dots here, like these probably don't make any sense to, like they don't really make any sense to me either. But basically each one of those is like a stage of the animation. And so, you know, those of you who ride horses, you know, there's different phases of every gait. And there's different beats to every gait. So think of every keyframe as a beat of the gait. Then this. And one thing that you can always do is you might notice if you make like the whole gait and then you just do it like this, if you play it like this, it's going to be really ugly because it's going to snap like that. If you want to stop the snapping, all you have to do is copy this keyframe in the beginning because you want whatever it starts with, that should be the way that it ends if it's a repeating animation. Paste it here, and then it will end the exact same way as it starts, and then it will do that. So then you have kind of a passage. This is really ugly because it doesn't go up that high. But and it doesn't have any bounce to it whatsoever. This is incredibly ugly. But then what you would do is you would publish it as passage, and then you would copy the link and put it in as the animation. Or if you wanted to add a new game entirely, like passage, you would actually have to add to the script a little bit, or you would replace one of the gates. Say you don't want one of the canners, like you only want one of them, you could just replace the button with like passage, and then just just change the name of the button, and then copy it into like wherever the one of the canters is, and then you could just have passage instead of one of the canters or something like that. If you want to make it real simple, or if you wanted to, you could actually go in the script and add extra lines for all this stuff. Like you could say like trot, then add another line, passage, but that's like a pain in the butt because then this isn't the only thing you would have to add in. You would actually have to go down here, add it here, and everywhere where there's like a whole list of all the gates, you would have to add some more stuff. So like down here where it has gallop, canter, and all this, you would have to add another line that says else if gate passage. Um, all of this stuff you would have to add another stop. You would have to add another stop here, and then another stop here, and then you would have to add a stop to each one of these. Then you would actually have to add another one of these because this is the function for the gate change. So basically what these do is when you click the button, these fire, and this will basically stop all the other animations. That's what these lines do. They stop all the other animations from working. So if you're walking and then you suddenly hit gallop, it doesn't keep walking. Then it changes the walk speed and the jump power to like more reflect like the gallop. Then it changes like this variable called gait to gallop so that the whole script knows that the gate is now gallop. Then if the horse is still moving and you didn't change the gate while the horse was standing still, it will play the animation for the gallop. And then these are the ones for like actions like rear and buck and stuff. Because then you have to resume the old animation after. So that's basically what this whole extra chunk of this does here. And then these are all of the connections for them. So you'd have to add another line of these if you wanted to add a gate. But nothing really else, just mostly just copy and pasting stuff and changing a few names. It's not really any like hard, intense coding. So if you wanted to just throw an extra gate in here, you can kind of get the idea of how to do it. I can do a tutorial on it if you guys don't like understand this. Really not too crazy. I will publish this right now so I can show you guys exactly where it is, and I will put a link for this in the description of this video. There's know where it is. So basically you just take the horse, save it. Oh, no, wait a minute. I forgot to add... Discard. I forgot to add the controls. This will be in the model, but you have to understand that this does not stay here. This has to go in server storage or nothing will work. Because otherwise the script will be like looking for it and be like, where is it? So you have to put it in there. Don't worry, you only need one for all of the horses in your game. So once you get one in there, then you could just copy those horses as many times as you want, and that's enough for the whole game, because it copies it every time for each person that gets on the horse. So they don't get used up, per se. So I'm going to save this, and we're going to call it Gaited Horse Stock Pack. It's just one of those things that a lot of people used, and it's really unfortunate that when my old account got deleted, now it doesn't exist anymore, so people can't use it anymore. But now they can, because it's going to be a thing now. So you're going to click that. Creator is me. If you wanted to post this to a group, I guess you could change that, but I don't have any groups because I'm broke. So we're going to do that. And let's say my old account. Actually, we're not going to put my old account because then Roblox will probably flag it. Is the new Gaited Horse Starter Pack. You can transfer it to other models. Press put credit if you like, because one of the things that does not really tick me off, like it ticks off a lot of people, but one thing that really does not bother me whatsoever is if you don't credit my work. If I'm putting it on the free market, I know people are going to use it without crediting me, okay? Like, you just gotta, like, deal with the fact that nobody is going to credit you for that at that point. Alright. And I'm going to allow comments so you can see what you guys think of it. Yeah, and I can't say that, like, because you see how it says here, like, add any Roblox links. I can't put the link to this video underneath that, unfortunately, so only you guys are going to know about it. So make sure to tell your friends about this video if they don't know how to use the model, because Roblox is very finicky about, like, what kind of links you can use. If I put a YouTube link down here, it would genuinely get banned. Like, I'm not even joking. They would literally be like, nope, no external links. And I'm like, wow, that's really nice. Especially because they allow you to put YouTube videos as thumbnails, but they don't allow any other YouTube links. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. Or if you have a group, you can promote your group. You can promote a channel through your group, but you can't promote like your channel through a model. And I'm like, that's just weird. Like you can put links some places but not others. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, there we go. And so now that is saved my account. It's public, so you guys can check it out and use it. And I will be copying this link for sure, so I can put this in the description of the video. And then you guys can get a hang on it. And this game, here, Jasper Hollow Stables, I'm gonna be opening it very shortly, and have a lot of draft horses. So if you're not like the coding type, but you definitely want to like do some gaming, I'm here for you. So just hang in there, and this game will be released relatively shortly as soon as I get like the rest of the map figured out. Because the horse model is usually the hardest part of making these games. Everything else is just kind of a breeze. I still gotta work out how to like do like changing tack and stuff on this particular model because those buttons that I made for that color changing tutorial are over here because they're ugly, so I don't want to use them. I actually have to make one like a legit tack panel, or I might actually make one like that's like GUIs and it's not like a physical button because this tend to take up a lot of space. Um, so I'll probably do something like that and have some stalls for the horses. But yeah, hang in there. I'll let you guys know when it's released. The minute it's released, and I'll make some videos on that so you guys can see the progress. And um, if you guys have any questions about how to use this kind of stuff, or you want me to show you how to like add stuff to it, slap a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer all your questions for it and enjoy it. I'm really hoping that I get to see some of the cool stuff you guys have made in the future because that was one of my favorite things about the old gated horse model is that so many people adapted it and changed it and made their games and kind of, you know, looked at it as inspiration. Even some people actually wrote their own code. So I'm really impressed with a lot of stuff you guys have come up with. So I'm hoping that this tool is something you guys can use to help build your own games. So have fun with it and, you know, have a good day, guys.